require you to locate relevant information in the reading passage, but in this case, you'll be required to put that information into a table. Similar to summary and note completion, you should follow the 4 steps to complete table completion questions. Step 1, gain a general understanding of the table. Then, identify word forms needed for the gaps. Step 3, scan the passage. And finally, read intensively. Here's an example of a table completion question. Once again, you need to pay attention to the instructions and note how many words you need to use. In this table, you must use no more than 3 words and/or numbers. This means you could have 3 words, 3 numbers, or any combination of these. The first step involves looking at the table to gain a general understanding of what kind of information it contains. There are several aspects of the table to consider. Firstly, pay attention to the headings of each column and/or each row. In this case, the first column contains the names of food groups, and the second is the number of servings. You'll also notice the rows do not have any labels or headings in this case. Next, decide which way to read the table. Should you read it from the top to the bottom, or should you read it from left to right? One way is to read each column separately and identify which information is missing. In this case, we can see the first column contains the names of food groups. So there are 2 examples of food groups missing in questions 29 and 30. In the second column, you can see that in question 28, the missing information is the number of servings. Here is an alternative method for understanding a table. You could follow the numbering of the questions, that is, 28, 29, and 30, and as you do so, based on the headings, determine the type of information you need for each answer. After gaining a general understanding of the table, the second step is to identify the word forms needed for the gaps. Think whether you need a noun, an adjective, a verb, or a number. You can often use the information that is already in the table to work out what you need. In this table, for example, it seems we need 1 or more numbers for question 28 and a noun, that is, a food group, for questions 29 and 30. Now it's time to scan the passage. You can look for any of the keywords in the table, but remember that the text may use synonyms. You could start scanning for the word carbohydrates and the word vegetables. Now they are unlikely to have synonyms, but you may find related words in the text. Scan this paragraph. Can you see the words carbohydrates or vegetables? Words. There are many key words from the table, as well as carbohydrates and vegetables. Therefore, you can be quite sure this is the paragraph where you will find the answers. The final step is to read intensively. This means reading the section carefully and in detail to find the exact information you need for the table. Can you find the answers needed to complete the table? The words needed are 6 to 11, fruit and dairy. As you can see, the answer to question 28 can be written in several ways, as long as you have no more than 3 words and/or 3 numbers. You may wonder why the text uses the word 6 spelled out S-I-X, while 11 is written as a number. This is because it is common in writing to spell out the words 1 to 10 and write numbers after that. In your answer, it's best to write numbers as numbers rather than words. Table completion questions will often require an answer containing numbers. Remember, whatever your answer is, to check that it keeps to the word limit in the instructions. Now you have learned how to do